With Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2's Future Saga Chapter 3 releasing in less than a month from now, I have to ask, will we be getting a brand new Awoken skill because of a new Dragon Ball Super base version of Broly? Will we see Wrathful or even the full power Super Saiyan transformation? Let's discuss that in today's video. Alright, what is up? This is SLOplays, and I am back at it again with another Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 Future Saga Chapter 3 Awoken skill speculation video. Last time we talked about Super Saiyan 4. Now, this was before we even knew exactly who the characters were that were going to be included in this, what the story was all about, and now that we know that Broly is a big part of this, specifically the DBS base/Fury version of Broly, I think an Awoken skill that is more, I guess, wrathful or even legendary Super Saiyan oriented would be a lot better than Super Saiyan 4 right now. Again, believe me, I want Super Saiyan 4 more than anything, but I'm just saying it's nice whenever an Awoken skill kind of fits the same theme, and as always, I'm not expecting one. If we don't get one, I'm not gonna lose sleep over it. It's not a huge deal, but Awoken skills are the most, requested thing. These are the fan favorites. This is what gets people actually playing the game. Like, you're getting double, triple the amount of the player base back into the game whenever you announce one of these and it drops. You know what I'm saying? So, like, these, more than anything, are in a sense selling the game because, the more people that play the game, whenever this Awoken skill comes out, you have the DLC that drops at the same time. So people are inclined, hey, I want to, really enjoy this game. Let's also try out the new DLC, and they'll buy the DLC. I'm just telling you, it's kind of like a promotional thing, right? It's good marketing. So it's in their, best interest to want to do Awoken skills as frequently as they possibly can, and it's been a very long time since we had one. I think the last one was Ultra Instinct, right? And that was 2023. That was at the very end of 2023. So we're coming up on the 2-year, anniversary since our last Awoken skill, and this DLC is dropping at the very end of this month. We have less than a month to go, and I'm really excited to try this out, but Awoken skills would really help, with, people wanting to play this DLC, right? Now, the reason why I think it would be a good idea is because there is a new system for the story mode. They're doing things differently this time around. As you guys are aware from what you saw in the trailer, it is kind of like a friendship dating simulator type of thing. We're just calling it that for now. It's not actually that, but the way that they're playing it up and the process of it, you're going to go on quests and talk with Broly as well as Chilai, and eventually you'll get leveling up like aspects to it. So the more you talk with them, the more your friendship will go up in a sense, right? Kind of like mentors, right? So because it's so similar to that, and you do get rewards, which are actual skills for Wrathful Broly. Okay, these are likely the skills that you're going to learn for. I guess there's only 3 of them, right? We have that one. I don't remember the names of these because they haven't released the English translations. But he's got the one where it's like the 2-handed blast, where he just charges towards you. You have I call it the Planet Crusher. You could call it whatever, that giant key sphere, right? And then, of course, we have another Mouth Blast, but I don't exactly know how they're going to function. There's no description on these. So for now, we're just going based off of the pictures and how it's taken from the actual movie itself, right? So those are the only 3 skills that we know right now. Again, I'm not expecting it. I would not, expect or get your hopes up for an Awoken skill, but I'm just saying this is like such a perfect opportunity to have the last final thing be his transformation, right? Again, we don't know if this Broly is going to be starting in base and goes into the Wrathful Rage form, or if he's going to just be, in a sense, base Wrath, and he can maybe go Super Saiyan. I just hope he can transform, because that would be really stupid, right? Like Restrained Broly or the DBZ Broly that we got in Future Saga Chapter 1, he was able to go Restrained Super Saiyan, right? That's the whole like, we already have Broly playable. I don't need another just regular Broly that can't transform, right? Like, the whole point of them re-releasing these characters is to let them have an Awoken skill with it. They did it with DBS Gogeta. They've done it many times before. Even Superhero Gohan, they have his base version that can go into Potential Unleash. So it's kind of like redoing a character that is very old and making them better. And, the model, the skills, the animations, Dimps has definitely stepped up their game in the past, 3-4 years now, right? So hopefully there's going to be more than just these 3 skills. Hopefully Broly can actually transform and stuff. But I'm just saying, like, the new dating system thing, it's very similar to just like the friendship level up system that we already have in the game, which is what you would normally do to get most of the Awoken skills, like Super Saiyan God and Beast, right? Do the friendship, max out their friendship or level up dating simulator shit with both these characters. And at the very end, if you do it and you max it out, boom, you get, the Fury / Wrathful thing, right? Now, obviously, if we did get this, it would likely just be, you just go Fury, or you just go, Legendary / Full Power Super Saiyan. But now this is just me getting crazy, right? This is just like full-on hope. What I would want. Imagine if we had all 3 stages. This was a new version of the original Super Saiyan Awoken skill that we've had since the base game, since it released, right? But it's redone, in a sense. And you go Rage, you go Super Saiyan, and then you go Full Power Super Saiyan, right? Now, the way it would look, Rage would probably just give you yellow eyes, right? And maybe like the aura, obviously. Super Saiyan, again, it would be the same thing. You're just going like, normal Super Saiyan. But it would be cool if it would white your eyes out. Like, I want complete whited out eyes. I don't want no pupils or iris or any of that shit. I just want full-on white sclera. Boom. It looks awesome, right? Give me the aura. They're not gonna give us buffed up bodies. They showed with Super Saiyan Blue Evolved that they weren't going to do that, and that's, I guess, too much work for them, and we know how lazy they are, so they're not gonna fucking do that. But at least when you go full power, easy, green hair. That's it, right? So something like that. But obviously it can't be exactly the same as, regular Super Saiyan, which Super Saiyan has 3 stages. It has, SSJ, and then it has SSJ2, and then SSJ3, right? Now check this out, okay? Just bear with me, right? Humor me with this idea. So this is the kind of chart. I'm just going off of the wiki here, assuming that this is all kind of accurate. Super Saiyan through Super Saiyan 3, it just costs 300 at base, and then it goes up by 100 for key cost, right? So I think that's reasonable. I don't know any Awoken skills that go cost more than 500. As far as I'm seeing, the maximum, if it's like a really high-end premium Awoken skills, which is stuff like Beast, Ultra Instinct, Super Saiyan Blue, Evolved Blue, and even God, right? Shit like that is going to cost a lot, right? So when it comes to this Rage Broly version of Super Saiyan, right? I think that's reasonable to think that it would also just be 300, 400, and 500, right? In that order, right? And Broly's transformation, I mean, at least this one, like his specific version of like this line of Super Saiyan and these transformations for him, they're obviously more powerful than regular Super Saiyan through Super Saiyan 3, right? So him just going Rage is, I guess, in a sense we could say, and this is no power scaling, I'm just saying for the sake of the video game, right? Rage would be the equivalent of just normal Super Saiyan, and then his version of Super Saiyan would be the equivalent of Super Saiyan 2, and then Full Power would be the equivalent of Super Saiyan 3 in a sense, okay? Again, just in terms of what you're getting for damage and, boosts and shit, right? I'm not saying that Full Power Super Saiyan is on par with a Super Saiyan 3 or any of that shit. We saw him fighting Super Saiyan Blue Gogeta, right? As a fusion. So obviously we're not getting into any of that shit, right? But I think everything would kind of be inverted. So everything that would give you the strike attack modifier would go to blast attack modifier, because Broly does a lot of blasts. He does a lot of punches and beat your ass, right? But I think that his skills just in general, right? Let me bring it up. Hold on. This right here, these all seem to be more blast oriented, okay? Maybe the first image here where he's got the two-handed, that could be a strike based, right? Because it looks like he's going to be like physically like, interacting with you. But these other two they just look like blast based, right? Just key based. So I think that would be, it would make the most sense to give, Rage, Fury, whatever, Super Saiyan in his full power, give him blast instead. So as you can see with Super Saiyan, Super Saiyan 2, and Super Saiyan 3, it just goes from 10% to 15% to 20% with the increase, right? With Blast, it's less, okay? It's basically halved, right? So we'll invert it, and we'll give him whatever his strike attack, the strike attack modifier, we'll give, you know, Rage in full power and, you know, normal Super Saiyan Broly or whatever, as the Awoken skill, right? Give him the inverted version. So whatever you have here would go to the Blast. Same thing with Strike, and Blast defense. Again, Strike defense modifier, you're getting it from 5, 10 to 15, but Blast is completely, you know, in a sense halved, or not halved, but like, you know, reduced by 5. So that's a major difference, and I think that it would I think it's reasonable. Okay, I just think it's reasonable to have something where it's like that, but you just get kind of the invert of it, and it wouldn't necessarily be like Super Vegeta and Super Vegeta 2, which in a sense would give you more, right, for the Blast, and hit the Strike on that would be, you know, less than that in terms of like, you know, the ratio, right? You get a lot with Super Vegeta 2, and they have to do that because there's only 2, you know, transformations in this one Awoken skill, right? And then the other ones, you know, they do their thing, right? And obviously we just can't have these be as powerful as Super Saiyan Blue. I think that's too much, right? You know, this is a very strong form, and it's Broly's version of it. Or they could just do one of these forms and have it more equal to, like, I guess something similar to, it would have to be weaker than Super Saiyan God Super Saiyan. Like, I don't see this being on par. Full power Super Saiyan, for example, even though he did fight Gogeta Blue, he was getting his ass beat, right? You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. You guys can let me know down in the comments what you think. These are just what I think is reasonable for the game to keep it as balanced as possible. You know, having to just keep it more unique, having 3 in 1 would be better. Again, that's more work for them in a sense, but like even just supers, actually it's not even that much work, okay? For Rage, you just give your character yellow eyes and a fucking aura. That's it. That's not even a hard thing to do. Like, that's so easy. Same thing with Super Saiyan. You just make it Super Saiyan, normal Super Saiyan, but wide out the eyes and give you the green aura. And then full power, you do the same thing. You just copy paste that, but make the hair green. That's it. This is actually easy as fuck. They could do this. I could do this, bro. I could do this in my sleep. I'm just joking. Actually, I'm not even joking. I actually could make this myself, right? I at least know with mods, with Xenoverse, I at least know how to change the color of hair transformations. I would have to use an existing Awoken skill, but I could actually make this shit myself. That's hilarious, right? But yeah, again, I'm not undermining the devs or trying to talk shit. I'm just, you know, being funny about it. But no, for the devs, right? For the devs, and they're getting paid to do this shit, yeah, they could do this. They could absolutely do this. This is not out of the question. Having all 3 of these in one and just make it an already existing version of a transformation that we already have in the game that is pretty much in a sense balanced, but you fucking invert the Blast and Strike. Hire me, Bandai. The fuck?
This is Broly, and you are watching SLOplays. Make sure to subscribe, or else I'll destroy your entire planet.